Welcome to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, a podcast where we teach speakers how to land paid speaking engagements and corporate contracts. Each week, we deliver high-quality content that teaches you how to level up your speaking business. Be sure to join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group after having your mind blown by this information-filled episode. Now, here's your host, Ashley Kirkwood, lawyer and professional speaker. This is the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast.
Hey guys, it's Ashley Kirkwood with the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. Today we have with us Brittany Sherell. I'm super excited to speak with her. She is a member of the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook family and has participated in several of our challenges. So she's going to tell us a bit more about her business, and we're going to dig into it and see how we can help her explode an already successful brand. Brittany, welcome to Speak Your Way to Cash.
Thank you so much, Ashley. I'm so honored to be here.
Definitely. We're so honored to have you. So tell us a little bit about your business and then specifically how speaking plays a role in your business.
So I am a certified happiness coach, speaker and author, and I help high achieving women get unstuck and achieve more of their goals in less time. And, I've primarily been focusing on the coaching component of it, but I've realized that, just from being invited to speak certain places, I wasn't actively pursuing speaking, that I was able to really maximize my impact and reach more women to help. So I'm really interested in really actually kind of flipping a bit and channeling more of my energy towards speaking.
Definitely. And as of right now, what percentage of your friends and family would you say know that you speak?
In a certain capacity, probably 90% of them, but not in a professional, as a professional speaker, probably only about 45%.
Okay, cool. And then what is the biggest challenge you've had with getting the speaking business off the ground and making that kind of the main business?
Knowing how to package what I have to offer and knowing how to pitch, because honestly, it wasn't until I stumbled across your podcast that I realized you could actually have a speaking business. I didn't know that, because I've always spoken in church and stuff like that, but it was always free. I mean, you do it because your mom put you on the program. So even professionally, conducting workshops and things of that nature, it was just always kind of tied into what I already did. So I didn't know that there was actually a space where I could actually be compensated for what I do and actually enjoy doing.
And how would you describe your expertise?
I speak on productivity. So I train on how to effectively set goals, how to kill self-doubt, and how to get comfortable with lifelong learning, adopt a lifestyle of lifelong learning so that you're always able to produce at your highest. You show up as your highest self on a daily basis.
Hey guys, it's Ashley Kirkwood here, and I know this is an amazing interview. And if you are someone who is interested in taking your speaking career to the next level, then do I have something for you? Okay, I need you to go to AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay. That's AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay. The link is also in the show notes that you can grab the Speak Your Way to Cash live replay, which has 7 modules, a ton of information about how you can start speaking your way to cash. Now, this training is absolutely action-packed, phenomenal. It has additional resources. It has templates. It has a podcast pitch template, a college pitch template, something you can send to media outlets to get on television. It has everything you need to develop a sales strategy, a press strategy, and a plan to skyrocket your speaking career. And it is crazy affordable, okay? So head on over there right now, AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay, and grab your copy today. All right, let's get back to this interview. Okay, and then in terms of the market that you'd like to go after with that, which market are you looking at?
Companies, corporations. I would I feel like I would probably be the best fit there.
Okay, perfect. So one of the things that I would say, just to start on the expertise, is that has to be crystal clear and simple. So it would be, hey, I'm a productivity expert.
Okay.
And that'd be it. The self-doubt, all that other stuff, like those aren't buzzwords that necessarily will lead a corporate audience to pay for it. Once you get in there, you can talk about how self-doubt harms productivity as a talking point within your signature speech or your signature program. But for the most part, you're going to be a productivity expert. And so one of the things that you want to make sure of is whenever you're pitching your website, your LinkedIn, everything is like, I'm a productivity expert. I help corporate professionals increase productivity and make more money for the company, or whatever the tagline is going to be. Increase productivity, kill self-doubt, and ensure the company is thriving. Ensure they thrive by helping the company thrive. Like something, think of a catchy title for it, but everything needs to stem around productivity. So even on your website, it would be great if you don't have a speaking engagement where you're talking about productivity and how you can help a corporate audience, to just do a video, with you on Zoom, and it just says like, my productivity plan for you or whatever. And it just you talk through why you are a productivity expert. So once you define your expertise, you have to build your brand around that expertise. And ideally, in an ideal world, you would build your brand before you start pitching. So the first thing that we do in the Speak Your Way to Cash method, and you've seen the Speak Your Way to Cash live course, is we talk a little bit about brand building through the press. So there are a lot of different ways to do it, but you can have LinkedIn articles on productivity. You can have a blog on productivity. You can have a podcast on productivity. You can research productivity articles. You did the Sell Your Signature challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then you can use that research method that we talked about at Harvard Business, read those productivity studies, and then write your opinion on those studies, whether you think they're wrong, whether you think they're right, for LinkedIn and or for other news sources. But you want to start developing yourself as the productivity, like the go-to resource for productivity. If you want to get more productivity out of your employees, you want to be the person that they think of first. And the reason you start writing those LinkedIn articles and blogs and podcasts and start pitching and things like that is because once you pitch someone, their natural inclination is to Google you to see if you are who you say you are. And the way they're going to validate that will be whatever comes up online. So if you have 5 YouTube videos where you're talking about productivity hacks, even if they're just like 5 minutes, that's really helpful. Simple tips, 5 tips for increasing employee productivity, 5 tips for managing an unproductive employee, 3 tips for increasing productivity when you don't feel like it due to, issues at home. Just think of all the different ways you can talk about or offer tips on the productivity spectrum and get some of that content out there, even if you're just self-producing the content at the beginning.
Okay.
Because for corporate, the unstuck and the self-doubt and happiness, like all of that is cool. But if productivity is your main thing and you believe you have some really unique hacks for increasing productivity, then I think that can be very, very, very beneficial.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And at the time of this recording, we're in the middle of the coronavirus outbreak. And so what a lot of folks are thinking about is how can I be productive at home while working from home? It's easier at the office when you have your 2 screens, your setup, and you're used to working in one environment. Some people can't really handle switching their environments with work, like they're creatures of habit. So this is an excellent time to serve people on that front. So you definitely want to think through that, because once you get your expertise and it's all about productivity, then you can think about, all right, well, what's going to be the brand that I build around that? So your signature speech, you'd want it to be around productivity. What's your signature speech now?
The energy exchange, and it's based on my 4-step, my 4-point proprietary system, using the MOVE acronym.
Okay, and does that deal with productivity at all?
Yes.
Okay.
So the MOVE, MOVE, is for the 4 key components to being effective and being more productive in any environment, but in particular in companies.
Okay, perfect. So I love that. I think the acronym's really easy to explain. I like that you said your proprietary system. So for those of you who are listening who don't know why Brittany leaned into that word, essentially, when I teach people how to draft their signature speeches, what we talk about is you needing to draft a speech that is unique to you, scientifically based, that you've come up with and created, so that you can sell it as something that is unique. They cannot get it anywhere else in the world. So ideally, you'd be the only speaker in the world that can teach corporations the MOVE system of productivity. And that is a easier sell than, hey, I'm one of 5 million speakers that's going to come in and talk about productivity. No, I can teach you about this system. I can train your trainers on how to teach this system. And then you can implement the system into your company. So it just gives you an easier way to have an elevated conversation on what it is that you're actually teaching. So that's why she did that. So that's really good. But the title has to have productivity in it.
Oh,
I would think
that is something that's probably seems so obvious, but I think sometimes when we dig in, we get so caught up in it. I didn't even give thought to that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And then, some people, I have a podcast episode with, what is his name? He wrote The Introvert's Edge, and his name is escaping me, but he was on here and he was talking about how he likes to build a brand around what he does, and his brand, Matthew Pollard. So check out his podcast interview if you haven't already, because what he talks about is he likes to be he brands himself. So you would probably brand yourself as the productivity powerhouse or something like that. And that's your personal nickname.
I like that.
Yeah, it's this is what I do. So you don't just brand your speech, you also brand yourself. There's so many different ways to do it, but essentially everything it just needs to be really clear that productivity is your thing. That's your lane, because people pay experts, and then you get out of because one of the challenges, you get out of being a commodity. And that's one of the challenges speakers have, is if you are a high school speaker, you're a motivational speaker, you're a commodity. Anyone can say they're a motivational speaker. There's nothing very unique about that individual. So the reason we focus on getting your brand together, your signature speech together, is so that then you're not a commodity. You're the only person in the world who can teach on that. You're the MOVE system for productivity. You make corporate professionals productivity powerhouses. That's your superpower. That's what you do. If that is your thing, then own it. Go all the way, brand that, lean into it. And the more refined it gets, the better or the easier it is for you to sell it. So Matt calls himself the rapid growth guy because he helps businesses grow rapidly. So that's his thing.
And that's easy to remember too.
Yeah, even if they don't remember his name. And he's also an introvert. And so it makes it easier for him to put himself out there as the rapid growth guy versus, Matt Pollard in some sense. I'm not an introvert, but if you are, that's also a good hack. Maybe you brand yourself as something else. That way you don't feel like you're always bragging on yourself. You're more so talking about your brand and what you do and how you help people.
Right. I'm definitely an introvert.
Yeah.
What most people think, I am an introvert. And so I really appreciate that. I'll definitely be making that shift.
Yeah. So you're the productivity powerhouse. You help corporate professionals become productivity powerhouses through the MOVE method of productivity. And once you all come up with this stuff, check to see if it's already trademarked. Make sure it's not. and then trademark it, because that's like the next step once you've solidified it and it's refined and it's what you're going to pitch for sure. Because I have learned that speakers sometimes like to borrow ideas from other speakers. So I was sure to trademark the names of my programs, because it's really hard to come up with these things. And when you do, you definitely don't want anyone else, using it.
Right.
Yeah. So that it seems like Move works for productivity, but the name doesn't have it in it. So figure out what are some names you can use to add productivity in it, because you want your name, you want people to be able to tell what your speech is about from the name of your signature speech. There can still be some mystery there, but they need to have an idea of what it's about.
Right. Because your speech, the currency of confidence, is the first thing that comes to mind. It's clear that it's about confidence, but the currency of it kind of draws you in.
Yeah.
So yes, I know I need.
Hey guys, Ashley Kirkwood here, and I just want to take a moment to invite you out to the Speak Your Way to Cash retreat. If you enjoy this podcast, then you will love the Speak Your Way to Cash 2020 retreat in October, taking place right outside Chicago, Illinois. This retreat is for speakers looking to grow their speaking businesses, land corporate or college clients, and skyrocket their earning potential as a speaker. The in-depth sessions at this multi-day retreat will leave you understanding exactly the high-level client acquisition strategies that I use to land corporate clients. You'll also know the exact steps you need to be taking to grow your current business. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. The sessions are amazing. We talk about selling your signature speech, and we actually have time to go over the techniques of speaking. So if you want to become a better speaker as well as a higher paid speaker, then you should come out. We have another session called TEDx Secrets. Bring your laptops. We are actually going to be looking up and applying to TEDx Talks at the retreat. This session will be critical if you're someone who wants to land a TEDx Talk. Client secrets. You'll hear from actual clients about what they want from speakers just like you, and selling success. We cannot do a retreat without talking about selling. But here's the session that I'm most excited about. We are going to do a vision organizational chart party. That means we are going to have not just vision boards, but vision org boards. We are going to map out how your speaking organization should be staffed, what you want that to look like, and how to use global outsourcing in a way that lets you fund the positions in your company that are currently open. So it's for you if you're ready to level up. If so, meet me in Chicago in October. Reserve your seat now. I'm only taking 30 speakers on this retreat. So go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com/2020 retreat. And the best part is you can get early bird pricing now of $550, or you can reserve your seat for just $75 down and make payments until the retreat. That's right. You can either pay in full and get early bird pricing of $550 for the entire 2-day experience, or you can reserve your seat for just $75 down. Whatever you decide to do, make sure you're in the room. It's going to be impactful, and I'm ready to help you start speaking your way to cash in person in Chicago in October. Again, the website is ashleynicolekirkwood.com/2020 retreat. See you soon. Can't wait, guys.
But it never even clicked that I didn't have productivity in the title.
Yeah, and now you can streamline. Well, that's the benefit of coaching and having someone else's eyes on it. Is like, okay, well, now I can get more clarity. That's the goal, more clarity. So you can definitely streamline. Are there any questions about anything I've said thus far?
No, you've been very, very thorough. I'm really astonished at how this just comes so naturally. So naturally to you, like, you're just spitting it out. And I'm like, wow, I didn't think about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, well, now you have a good basis to figure out. And then this will help. Once you get this piece of it, then you can update your website, you can update your LinkedIn, you can make sure that it's seamless throughout. And we've talked through some ideas for branding. And when it comes to pitching, this will also help. So now you have a clear roadmap for what you're pitching. But what are some challenges you have with pitching? Do you have a system for pitching every day? Are you doing it alone? Do you have a VA? What is your process now?
So first of all, I want to say Thank you for offering the pitch to paid challenge, because that took me from probably 0 to 70 miles per hour when it came to pitching, because I knew, like I said, from listening to your podcast over the past few months, that pitching was important. But I was like, well, what am I pitching? Who am I pitching? How am I pitching? So I went from literally maybe pitching 4 or 5 companies a month to pitching at least right now at least 25 a week.
That's great.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess when you know what you're doing, it's a lot easier to actually do it versus, because I think I was like sending different pitches to different people, and you made that whole process, so you gave it so much clarity. There was no guessing about what you need to do. So right now it's just me, and I'm just pitching about 25 companies a week. Okay,
good. So if you're doing 25 companies a week, that's good. You may want to think about are you having any challenges with the pitches? How is that going?
Well, let me clarify. So I was pitching a mixture of colleges and companies because I know, like I've heard you say over and over again, it's probably good to really get started with colleges. Sometimes they can be an easier entry point. And since I've only done a few paid engagements at this point, I gave that a shot and I got great response from it. However, with the recent shift with the coronavirus, that has kind of slowed things down. But I've stayed in contact, and a lot of them are just trying to figure things out right now. But they're definitely interested in bringing me there. But in terms of the companies, I don't know that I was pitching enough of companies, because I was kind of in the mix trying to figure out who it was I wanted to work with. So this week moving forward, I know I'll be pitching pretty much just companies moving forward. And then I'll have a better idea of how well that's working.
And who were you pitching at the companies? What was the job title?
I think they I cannot remember.
That's really important too, is like making sure you're pitching the person in the right job title. And with productivity, there are a few different departments that may be interested, like the project management department. So companies that have a project management team, companies that have a sales organization, because in sales, it's all about productivity. And I would use what's going on right now to get in for them. And maybe you offer, like, when you think about how you sell to your individual clients, one of the ways that we've gained a lot of speaking coaching clients is through the podcast, and it's also through webinars. Like, we'll do a free webinar, and then we'll let them know about one of our paid challenges, and they'll come on that way. And then people are like, oh, this is great, I want more. It's the same with companies. If you can reach out to a variety of like sales directors or project management directors and say, hey, I'm offering a free productivity training next week. I'd love to invite you out. It's 100% free. Because of what's going on right now in the world, I wanted to make sure you all have tools to keep your team motivated. And then you just tell them your framework. You don't necessarily give them the entire thing, but you talk to them about your framework. You share a little bit of research with them, and you tell them, like, these are the things that I do with my clients, and these are the ways that I help them increase productivity. And I can do it virtually for your company, even through this. And who doesn't want their employees to be productive while working from home, still doing what they need to do to make the numbers, but also feeling good about it? And it makes your employees feel more, equipped, because they literally, like, it went from companies saying you could never work from home, this could never happen, to overnight being like, all right, everyone's working from home. People don't even know what that means if they don't do it.
Right.
And generationally, there's a huge gap with how to work from home and what you need and the tools you need and how to stay productive. And so anything that you can offer your employees at this time to help with that, I think companies are still going to be interested in that, especially because we don't know how long this will last.
Right.
Which is the most terrifying part of the whole virus, is that you don't know how long it'll last. Most people are saying, I've seen 9 months, I've seen 18 months, I've seen 3 months. I have not seen days. I have not seen weeks. So you now as speakers is a time where we have to figure out how will we serve in the new environment and how do we make ourselves integral in the environment that we're in now. And we can do it because what we have to offer really is a necessity. People have to be productive at work.
Right.
So it's just not an option. And to be honest, managers and people like that may not be the best people to teach them how to be productive. And research shows that people are more prone to listen to an outside expert than the manager they see every day anyways. So the webinar, there's a podcast episode on this, how to use webinars to attract additional corporate clients. But that way of doing it may be a way to increase the amount of people that are coming through your pipeline at this time.
Right. Thank you.
Definitely. So how comfortable are you providing webinars and resources and speaking opportunities virtually to corporate clients?
I think, honestly, it is requiring a shift, hosting webinars for potential coaching clients, for women who might, be interested in having me as their coach. That feels a lot more comfortable, but as soon as you said reach out to sales directors and project managers, like reaching out to companies hosting a webinar, honestly, I had a bit of nervousness, like, but then I remember you saying these are just people, don't think about the position, think about the people behind the position. But honestly, that's just requiring a mindset shift for me.
No, it does. It did for me too, because I've gone live on Facebook hundreds of times. Literally, I think last year I did over 100 live videos and it was no problem. And this year I've done a ton of live videos, but going live on LinkedIn for the more corporate audience has been, it was like a shock. Like, oh my gosh, okay, am I going to be able to go live for this more buttoned up professional audience? But it's been great. I've gotten great responses. People have been reaching out, and it's true that they're just people. And then for my first corporate webinar, we had 70 HR directors show up live on Zoom for the webinar. And it was great. And they loved the information, got a lot from it, signed up for the mailing list. And so they want information about how to better serve their people. But in order for them to buy, they do need you to be top of mind, because they're so overwhelmed, especially right now. And so I think that providing something free, that adds value, whether they buy from you or not, just keeps you in a position where you are serving at a time where a lot of people are scared.
Right.
But also people are still buying. I think there's this misconception out there that people aren't buying anymore, that we have to just, be supportive, don't sell anything, try not to do. We don't have that option as entrepreneurs. We have to continue to offer our expertise. And the only way that becomes a scam or slimy is if you really aren't an expert. Because then you're just wasting people's time in a moment of crisis. But if you really are an expert, you can really help people do this, and you believe it makes their lives better, then I think you're doing a disservice by not pitching them and not thinking of creative ways to help them see who you are. Because the more people who know you, the more you'll be able to impact people. A lot of speakers want to help people. I hear speakers every day, I just want to help people. I want to help people. If no one knows who you are, you will not help as many people. So you have to think through that. And, pitch it from that vantage point.
Right.
Definitely. Okay, so what are you going to do as a result of this call?
So I am, first of all, going to rewrite my statement about how I help corporate professionals. So I'm going to rewrite that. I need to develop a title for my signature speech / program that includes the word productivity.
Yes.
It's clear what I do and who I am. And thinking about who I am, consider branding myself in a way that allows me to remove my name. And I think that'll probably even help with the pitching process a lot more too. Because like you said, sometimes that can kind of get in the way. Like, pitching yourself, your own name, sometimes unintentionally, it requires or it demands of you an emotional attachment that can really hinder your progress. Because sometimes it's like, if you get rejected, it's like, oh, they're rejecting me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now most of the time I don't feel that way, but that will help, further eliminate that from possibly happening in the future. I'm also going to go ahead and decide when I'm going to do a free webinar, because I'm just going to do it, because that's what I do. I do things, I feel the fear, and I do it anyways. And just go back and comb through some of the research that I've done as a result of your signature speech challenge, and develop new content to make sure I stay top of mind and get to pitching.
Yes, get to pitching. This is great. I think that what you have is awesome. I'm super excited about what you're going to do as a result of this call and the other work that you've done in some of our other programs. Just do it. Okay. Like, do not let anything stop you. Don't get in your own way. Don't overthink things. Easier said than done. But you have a really great topic for right now. And that's challenging for a lot of people, is how do I pivot what I've been doing that worked as a commodity? It worked when it was, the economy was great and they were hiring people left and right. How do I morph that into something that people need right now? You have something people need right now. How do you stay productive when your mind is on whether or not you're going to live or not from going to like a grocery store? Like, people need to know, how do you remain productive and calm in times of crisis? So I'm excited. I'm excited about all the people you're going to help, and keep that front of mind. Like, you're not doing this just to get rich. You're doing this so that you can help as many people as possible, because that is what you're put on this earth to do. So it's not a selfish thing. It's really, you're offering them an opportunity to get something that they actually need.
Right. Thank you. I'm super excited too. I really am. And like you said, the thing that really motivates me about speaking is I feel like it really allows me to maximize my impact. Whereas when you're online and when you're trying to just do one-on-one communication with people, it's a lot of work with very little room to spread. Like, if I'm on a call, I can only talk to so many people on a call. Whereas with speaking, the people are already there. It's just about me showing up and delivering a transformation. And that's what I love the most about speaking. It allows me to do so much in a short period of time.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. So where can our audience find you if they want to learn more about you? If someone's listening who is in the space, the corporate space, and they'd like to hire you, where can they find you to stay connected?
At BrittanySherell.com. That's BrittanySherell.com. I also have a snack size podcast for high achieving women. Every episode is 10 minutes or less, and that's the Brittany Sherell podcast. Yeah. I'm
awesome.
on social, Brittany Sherell. Keep it simple.
Perfect. And we will link to everything that we have for Brittany as well. And you guys heard her talk about the Pitch to Pay challenge. The last one will actually focus on virtual pitching, like how to pitch your services virtually in light of what's going on. And it's the last one before I leave for maternity leave. So you can go and get that at AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/pitch to paid 2, AshleyNicoleKirkwood.com/pitch to paid and the 2 at the end. So PITCHTOPAID 2. So hopefully I will see you in that. Otherwise, guys, have a good one. And this was awesome as usual. All right. Wasn't that interview amazing? If you're anything like me, you have pages full of notes. But here's the thing. Before you head out, I want you to go to Facebook.com and join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group. That is where I am. That's where a ton of other speakers are, a ton of other people who listen to the show. We all congregate there and chat. And it's 100% free. Now, if you're ready to take your speaking career to the next level, I have two ways for you to do that. One, you can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay and pick up the live replay. That training is 7 modules, chock full of information. It's crazy. Go over there, read all about it. Or if you want a more personal experience, you already know that you want to be a speaker. You're ready to fully commit and you want someone to walk you through it and save you tons of time Googling and doing it on your own, then book a VIP day with me. You can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com, scroll down until you see the VIP day section and get more information on that there. All right. Thank you guys again for watching. Please do not forget to leave us a review. That is how we keep this train rolling and get some of the best speakers in the world to get on this show. So please, please, please leave a review. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and Facebook in the Speaker Way to Cash group, Instagram at the Ashley Nicole Show, and I'd be more than happy to chat with you and say hi. All right, y'all have an awesome, awesome day.